Hey, what is going on, guys? I haven't done this in a while. I believe it's been like 2 months. So, if you're already here, let me know if you hear me well, if the music is still loud. Hey, Ben. Today, we're doing something very different. Let me check something actually, real quick. Yeah. So, some of you have been asking about the light band stack content, and the truth is that the last time I touched it was like 10 years ago. Like back in the day, I wrote my master's thesis about Akka, and the last time I touched the Play framework was in 2012. So, long time ago. And I still wasn't planning on doing any content about it because I just don't find it as exciting anymore. Which does not mean that it's bad technology. And the thing is I am about to inherit a Play code base. So I kind of need to check it out, and specifically I'm interested in dependency injection in Play. I read only a little bit about it. Apparently there are two ways to do it. There's like dynamic stuff with Google Juice and stuff, potentially without Google Juice. And there's also a type safer way, which is what most Scala developers are interested in. So I want to check out that. So the plan for today is to spend a couple of hours just playing around with Play. We'll see, like a Hello World version of Play. If you're not familiar with Play, it's mostly a server-side templating web framework, similar to Ruby on Rails, which these days it's like a little bit less popular, this style of programming. We want to have, a rich client, with like React or Elm or, even Angular sometimes, or Vue.js and whatever. But still sometimes useful. Obviously, it can also just serve, a JSON API, like no framework or HTTP library out there exists that cannot do that. But most of the time, like people who use Play, they want server-side templating. Yeah, with that out of the way, let's play around. I have no idea how it works anymore. I just remember that there's like a file with routes, and it goes to some sort of controller, and the controller uses a couple of helper methods to either return a synchronous response or an asynchronous response, which is backed by futures. I'm very interested in finding out how trivial it would be to, at least after the controller, to go with something like Zio, because you can run Zio against, you can interpret Zio as with futures. So, it can run as a future or whatever the method is called. Oh, hello, neighbors. And what else? Yeah, I believe it's not published for Scala 3 yet, so we're forced to use Scala 2.13. I don't like to use Scala 2.13, Scala 2 in general, when I'm streaming, when I'm creating content, because this is pretty much the only time when I can, play with new Scala 3 stuff, because at work, we're still on Scala 2. But, we kind of have to. There's a big, not even sure if it's an issue or if it's just a GitHub discussion thing, on the Play website, on the Play's GitHub page, where they're trying to migrate to Scala 3, and there's a big checklist. Anyhow, I think we should kind of get started. So what I have here is the Play framework website open. Apparently the latest version is 2.8.18. I don't know when it came out. So apparently there's some docs. Okay, so I guess we need Scala docs. We can also browse all versions. Maybe there will be something about the dates. There we go. Oh, look, it's very new. It's like a month old. And then the previous one was June. By the way, Play is based on Akka, and Akka recently changed the license to being less open source. However, for educational purposes, it's not an issue. Also, Play is excluded, and also, like, even if we were a company, need to be able to generate 25 million in revenue, not profit revenue, but still. I'm not a lawyer, but I think we're totally good here. All right, we're recommended to use the latest version of Play. However, if you need to work with an older version, you'll find links on this page. Version of Play older than 2 are packaged in zip files. The traditional Play zip provides a Play command to create new applications, run test run the application. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so in general, like this Play command is just an SBT plugin. Up to 2.3.0, the Play command was replaced with SBT. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, they just went, and embraced the fact that it's just an SBT plugin. Version 2.6 interpret can be created from an example project template. See the changelog for history. I am actually interested in the changelog because I'm not even sure which version I'm going to inherit. Probably a very old one, but not today. Today we need to stay a little bit focused. I really want to focus on dependency injection. All right. By the way, you guys here, yeah, don't forget to hit the like button so that more people stumble on the stream. All right, so let's see the setup instructions. So I'm hoping that there would be a template, a generate template that we can just play around with. There's also an alternative way to find a template, but we'll see. Creating a new application. So maybe we'll go there. Hold on. Let's open it there. Let's see. Perfect time for the neighbors to start drilling. All right, so there is a template. Cool. 28x. Okay, so I think it's all good. So we'll just use one of these templates. It requires 8 to 11, so it doesn't work for 17. Interesting. So if it doesn't work for 17, we're also going to use Nix, which is great. All right, so I believe like this is all we need. Okay, so we just need, I have Jitterate installed, so all we need to do is we need to grab this part. Just this part. It's just like, the GitHub page, which is Play Framework, and inside of it, there's a template called play-scala-c. All right, so let's go to dev. Let's take play. I usually call folders playground, but now it's like way too hilarious. So play. Just play. Let's just play. Maybe it's not a good idea to call it play. Hold on. Let's call it play sandbox. Yeah, play sandbox. Okay, so play sandbox. All right, so now we can just go G8 and paste this. I'm actually super curious if it works with 17. Like we upgraded to 17 at work a while ago. The only issue was the Java time API. It became, I believe, a little bit more precise. So it used to be like up to milliseconds, now it's up to nanoseconds. So we needed to like work around that a little bit. Otherwise, it was super easy to upgrade. I'm gonna mute my mic sometimes when my neighbors do this. I'm not sure why it's taking so long, actually. It should have been like much faster. Yeah, I don't know. Let's wait a little, and then we'll see. All right, so what is happening here is that I believe inside of the template, it has parameters. Yeah. So I doubt that what we're seeing right now is already because of Java 17. So let's see if we can copy that. And if we can, Jesus. Yeah, I think so as well. Sorry guys, I have to mute my microphone when my neighbors are going crazy. Actually, let me know, because like my microphone is not super sensitive. So the next time there is drilling, I'm gonna let you know, and you'll tell me if you actually hear it or not. Because maybe you don't hear it. All right, so I have no idea why it's complaining, because like things here look, I don't know, kind of normal. Let's try again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this was just some network thing. All right, cool. Play scala seed. Yeah, sure, why not? Organization, dev inside you. I recently purchased the insideyou.dev domain, so I'm allowed to do that. And when I say recently, I actually mean a long time ago. Okay, 2.8.18 is the latest one. Scala version 2.3.10. Okay. All right. So play scala seed. All right. By the way, I'm using the power level 10K prompt, and I made a video about it. And this is what I have globally installed. This is the GraalVM version, Java 17.05. And as you can see inside of it, there's a build.properties file, which uses SBT172. And this arrow over here tells me that there's a newer version. There's actually 1.8.0 out. But we're not going to change anything. I just want to see like if it's just going to work out of the box. So before even opening it with metals or anything, I just want to see. Okay, so I can just do SBT run. Okay, cool. So this is like a regular app. All right, so let's just do that and see if it works with Java 17. I would be really surprised why it, like, do they do something with like, I don't know, reflection or whatever? Why wouldn't it work with 17? It's not like something like super crazy changed. Is it my first time let's play? No, I played around with it, no pun intended, 10 years ago. I've been doing Scala since 2010, and I believe it was play 2.1 the last time I touched it. So I guess you can kind of say, yeah. Oh, hey man. All right, server started. Use enter to stop and go back to the console. All right, so it already runs. So curl localhost 9000. Yeah, I remember it was doing like fancy stuff that it's like it notices that like a request comes in and it starts compiling. Okay, there you go. Class loader, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is most likely because of Java. Yeah, looks like it worked for you. No, it didn't. All right, let's also try localhost 9000. Maybe I just want to see like which kind of, yeah, because this was like one of the good things about Play is that like the developer experience was actually really great. I really remember it. So basically, like in dev mode, you see stack traces. Yeah, for sure, it's a new Java issue. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I am going to all right, like do you have experience with Play? Like, did you run into an actual issue with it? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about Nix in a way that I'm going to try not to derail this whole stream and just talk about Nix. So there's just one guy, I don't remember his name. He wrote a PhD thesis about build tools, he examined a bunch of them, like whatever, like Maven and Rake and all of them, and he figured out that there were issues, and so he wrote his own basically package manager. He called it Nix. I believe he's not German, but Nix in German is a slang way of saying nothing. Okay, so he wrote this package manager. As he was writing the package manager, he realized that Bash is not a good language to describe packages. One particular thing about Bash, as most, let's call it programming languages, it is strictly evaluated. However, for building packages, it would be very valuable to have lazy evaluation, because if you have some like, if expression, then build this package, otherwise build that package, you don't want to build like both packages, right? So long story short, he wrote a tiny programming language, which is not a general purpose programming language, sort of like a DSL for describing, well, basically describing build files. Unfortunately, he also called it Nix. And then after a while, another guy who was, I don't know, studying with him, he actually created an entire operating system based on this package manager. And the entire operating system is configured with a Nix, let's call it programming language, was a Nix language. Now, while you're developing packages, it would be kind of good to, to actually build the package and to see if it worked without actually like putting it on your path, like without like installing it globally. You just want to like build it and use it, right? And so they came up with a concept called Nix shell, which is just a way to create a subshell. It's sort of like if you're within ZSH and you run ZSH again, it creates a subshell. And in that shell, it would, build a package, and it would put that package onto the path, right? So while you're in the shell, you see the package. When you go out, you don't, right? And it obviously has limitations. Like you can't do like things that actually, require like, that actually need to run. Some like Postgres, because like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna start Postgres once you enter the shell, and you're gonna quit it out, when you exit, right? So for these things, it doesn't work. But like for all the tools that we need, like Java, SBT, and blah blah, it works, right? And so programmers looked at that and they were like, oh my God, this is amazing, because what we can do is we can write a so-called Nix shell file, and we can describe like, okay, we need Java version 17, or in our case, it's going to be 11. We need SBT, we need a bunch of other things, and a Nix shell essentially is going to grab all of that. It's going to create a subshell where you have all of this stuff without polluting your entire environment. And then when you exit the shell, it's kind of like gone. Obviously, it's cached, similar to how Corsia does. It's actually, Corsia has borrowed many ideas from it, right? So when you do like CS launch, this is what it does behind the scenes. It's like similar to creating like a subshell. By the way, like drilling is happening now. Let me know if you hear it or not. Okay, so one of the problems was Nix shells. Well, there are actually two problems was Nix shells. One problem is the caching. Okay, cool. So one problem is the caching, right? So one of the cool things that Nix does, and we didn't talk about it yet because the stream is not about. Cool, it's fine. Okay, so the stream is not about Nix, right? So we didn't talk about it yet. So the huge problem that Nix is trying to solve is reproducible builds. And it does this by trying to create the so-called hermetic builds. It's sort of basically the same thing as we're doing for like ahead of time compilation, but like it's like ahead of time building, right? So it's like everything is statically linked. It doesn't expect that some magical thing is on the path, right? So when you're using a package from Nix, you have few guarantees. Like Nix is really trying to help you, but like in reality, anybody can write a package, and just because you're writing a package in Nix doesn't make it reproducible. Okay, but the problem with that is that like if you create a Nix shell in which you're saying, okay, well, I need Java and I need SBT and whatever, and let's say that Java and SBT were actually written like a full bananas, like 100% in Nix style, then everything that Java and SBT needs would also need to be like downloaded and cached, right? And so one of the problems with Nix shells is that every time you enter Nix shell, it needs to at least make sure that you have everything cached. So just like going through all of that stuff takes a while. This is problem number one. The problem number two is that Nix shells are not really portable. Okay, and well, actually, this is not the real problem. Like the real problem with Nix shells is that it's essentially like a Nix script, like a Nix file. And so there is no structure to it. So every programmer who builds a package can do pretty much whatever they want, right? So over time, like Nix came up with an idea, they called it flakes. And one of the cool things about flakes is that they're also portable, right? So a Nix flake is like a repository somewhere. It can live on GitHub, and you can just like pull it down, and you will have stuff on your machine. I'm actually going to show this to you before I continue talking about it. So in the Scala ecosystem, there's a project called Tyrion. GitHub Scala. I don't remember how it's spelled. This one, right? So this is an Elm-inspired Scala.js framework, Scala UI framework. Yeah. And what they have provided is that this is also a Nix flake, because there's a file called flake.nix over here, right? I used Nix for more than a year, but I never dived into Flex. It seemed too complex, and then being a better feature fan scratch. Yeah, no worries. So many things in Nix, they're called unstable, they're called experimental and whatever, but people have been using them for years, and it's fine. Like I actually converted our Nix shell to flakes at work, and it took me just a couple of days, and everything just magically worked. Okay. So there's a flake.nix file. Okay. And so what I can do is I can go down over here, right? And I can do like Nix develop, and it's, hold on. It says over here, you know, GitHub colon, and then Purple Kingdom Games, which is the organization, and the project Tyrion. And inside of it, this flake produces multiple things. And the things that we need is the JVM, right? So for example, I could grab this, right? And I could just throw it over here, right? Like this, just like literally copy pasting. Obviously I have Nix installed, right? So that's gonna download a bunch of stuff. So as it's downloading stuff, I'm gonna keep talking about it, right? So one of the benefits of the flakes is that they enforce structure. A flake is basically a little bit of Nix code, and it's essentially a function that describes, okay, this is the inputs of my flake, and these are the outputs. For example, over here, there are multiple outputs, and one of them is a JVM output, okay? And when we say develop, we're basically saying, okay, well, get this flake, and inside of it, there will be not a package, but a shell called JVM. And so if we say, you know, Nix develop JVM, well, take whatever is on that inside of that flake and put it on the path, right? So what is happening right now is going to download a bunch of stuff. Then it's going to create a subshell. You're going to see that my prompt is going to be different, and whatever JVM they're using, which happens to be 1701, which is not something that we need, but you know, this is the idea, right? So we can, you know, we will be able to use. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, like when this thing finishes, is that I'm going to download the flake that we're using at work, because I wrote it and I know, like, you know, every little detail. And so we're not going to spend like too much, you know, we're not going to write a flake from scratch just because, you know, we need a, you know, Java 11. Also, we could technically, like, if Java 11 was everything that we needed, I could just write, you know, Nix shell, Nix packages, you know, JDK 11, and that's it. It would create a shell. It would just put JDK 11 in there, and we would be done. But probably we're going to be here for, you know, for like around 2 hours, and probably I'm going to keep needing it. And so we're going to accidentally write our own Nix flake that one day, by the way, I'm going to write my own, because I just didn't have time. Maybe actually even soon. And then you guys will be able to use it the same way as we're using, for example, this flake, right? So you'll be able to get this flake, and there will be, you know, Java SBT, you know, a couple of other tools like Corsair, for example, could be there. Not everything is published to Nix, so not everything is there, but it's gonna be fine. Anyway, so while it does that, we're just gonna do this, okay? So let me think. So I'm gonna go take dev GitLab amanste, and I'm gonna say git clone. I don't even know how to clone. Hold up a sec. What do I need to press? I need to press this. All right. All right, I think we're back. Nope, we're not. We're not back. Man, that's weird. It's probably because it does like a lot of stuff over here. I really like to know why I'm having such issues right now. By the way, so this shell loaded now. You guys can see me, right? So we're back, right? So if I do this now again, like see like how I have like 1705 plus 8, right? So which means that if I do like Java version, it's gonna be like that. So if I run this command again, right, everything is cached, so we just created a subshell immediately inside, right? And so if I do Java version over here, we're going to see that it's a slightly different version, right? So what I did now, so I'm gonna exit, right? So what I did now behind the scenes is I actually cloned the Nixflake repository from work, right? And I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to remove the Git folder, right? So I'm just gonna open it in Vim. We're going to modify it slightly. Basically, we're gonna like throw out a bunch of stuff that we don't need, right? So this is pretty much everything that is in there. There is something for CI, we don't need it. CI. It's like that needs this package, the shell hook. Let me see what's inside of the shell hook. Hold on. Yeah, we don't need it. And I'm having overheating issues again. I really don't understand why. Very strange. Because I have an air conditioner and it's not like super hot today. So I don't know. Let me see. Also, you know what I can do is I can close the door. Maybe it will be a little bit better. Hold up. All right, let's see. Wow, I'm dropping frames all the time. That's annoying. You know, like yesterday I updated WSL because they finally backported GUI apps from Windows 11 to Windows 10, and also I enabled System D for WSL. Maybe it's because of this. I don't know. Let's see if I can actually Maybe I can close a couple more things. That's pretty much the only thing I can close. Anyhow, so this is a shell hook. A shell hook is something that is being executed like once you enter the shell. We're not going to need it either. You know, actually, we might need it. So also there's a shell.nix. Oh yeah, okay. We don't need any of that crap. So this is something that you know, I can just run nix shell inside of this folder, and it will basically like, you know, backport a flake to a nix shell. Okay, so we actually don't need this, but in any case, so let's start. Let me open Vim, and like we're going to like do like the most part of today's video in VS Code, but this is such a tiny thing. So when we're gonna go into the shell hook, we don't need anything in there. So I'm just gonna go over here. I'm gonna say echo, you know, we're inside. Okay. So what else is there? Shell things we can ignore. Flake.nix is the main like meat of the flake. Well, it's actually not the meat. It basically says, again, I don't want to focus the entire video on nix, right? But basically it says, okay, like these are the inputs, right, over here. And the inputs are a couple of GitHub repositories. Basically, like this is the only thing that we need. All the other things are just like for like, you know, work stuff. Supported systems. Again, I'm trying not to explain any of that stuff. So now I'm just going to remove like everything that we don't need. So we don't need this. We don't need that. I have Corsair installed, so I don't need it. We don't need that. We don't need any of that. No. Okay, so we have the JDK. This is what we need. Probably don't need, maybe we need JQ, whatever. Don't need any of that stuff. By the way, everything that you see here are like clients, right? So if you see like PostgreSQL, it means that it's the client, right? The PSQL client. All right. So we have the SPT and, you know, maybe the Scala CLI, whatever. Okay. So, so we're not going to be like multiple outputs of the shell, right? So one output is a dev shell. A K9S is an interactive tool to interact with Kubernetes, right? So it's basically like, instead of just saying, you know, kube control, you start K9S and you see like a beautiful, I'll show it to you. It's really cool. Do they have a screenshot? Yeah, so it kind of looks like this. I don't know, it's like, I don't know, like, it's like iPhone 9T, you know, it's like the, you know, the next thing, you know. So it's a really cool CLI to interact with Kubernetes, and you don't need to configure it, right? So if your kube control works, this thing will work. Right, so pretty much we need like JDK, SBT, and CLI. When the shell is going to load, we're going to run this script, which is this one where I said, you know, echo, you know, right? This is another thing. Like Nix can actually build Docker images, but we don't need this. We actually remove the ECI folder. Okay, so this is this tiny shell, right? This tiny flake technically, right? And the biggest part is in packages.nix. And this is where we can say, well, actually we need 11, right? We don't need the AWS CLI, we don't need PostgreSQL. And this is a concept of Nix, which is called overrides. So you can say, this is actually the best thing about Nix. And I've watched like so many YouTube videos, and I've consumed so much content about Nix, and nobody says this. Nix gives you the ability to not only bring another package in and depend on it, it actually allows you to go into the build file of that thing that you're bringing in, and you can start changing stuff in that build file. Which is also why these files that you write in Nix to describe packages, they're called derivations, because you know what you're doing is you're building a package, but building a package means you're just deriving it from other packages build files, right? So yeah, we need this. We don't need KCat. So this thing is, well, there's a comment over here, right? It's like, hey, like if we were on a Mac right now, which we're not, so I don't need this technically. it would use the x86 version. We're not going to need AWS. So this is an important part, right? So basically, instead of saying GraalVM 11 CE, I'm just going to be able to K or JRE, which is exactly what I'm doing in my flake, right? So over here, I'm just saying, and I can do this because over here I said that JDK is actually GraalVM 11c. Okay, so we don't need Postgres. This is something for the Scala CLI, so that we use a GraalVM. Like this is exactly what I'm saying, right? So Jacob built the package for Scala CLI. He has a YouTube channel, by the way. You might want to check it out. So he built a package for Scala CLI, and inside of it he uses Java 17, but he uses the OpenJDK version. And I was like, yeah, but when we're building Scala CLI locally, use my version, which is GraalVM. By the way, actually, I'm not sure if it's going to work because it might need to be 17. Allow on free, sure, but we actually don't have anything, and that's it. Okay, so now that we have that, I can exit, right, and I can just say nix develop, and it will, it knows that we're inside of a repository that has the flakes. Actually, it shouldn't work because flakes only evaluate the files that are committed to Git, and I removed the Git directory, so I actually don't know what it is currently doing. Let's see. I have a good internet connection, so I don't think that we're going to need to wait for long. Oh man, software development. 40 minutes and we can't get Hello World to work. Partially my fault. I'm going to check my phone in the meantime. Hey, how is life? Have you ever touched play, Andre? By the way, as you can see, it downloads GraalVM 11 now. Nice. Have you decided where you're gonna go next? Right. Yeah. I'm about to inherit a play code base, so I want to see how much dependency injection we can do in there. All right, so somehow it worked. It should not have worked because usually, like, what a flake should do is it should only use the files that are committed to Git. Yeah, exactly. So you don't need to use juice. So there's a way to do like static dependency injection. Anyway, this is probably a bug that will work. So I'm just gonna like init a Git repository just in case, which I should do here. Okay, so now it's a proper repository, right? So if I go like nix develop, then it's like this. Okay. So as you can see, we're inside, right? So we're inside of this flake. Nix develop, blah blah. Okay, and I have an alias which shows me what is inside, right? So this is the stuff that Nix installed. Yeah. All right. So now we have this flake. So what I can do now is like notice it's over here, right? So what I can do now is I can go over here, right, where we have SBT, which is like dying on us, right? And I can say, nix develop, and I can paste this in. I don't know if it can do relative paths. Let's see. We're inside, okay? So now Java version is 11, right? And so now if I start SBT and I run this thing again, in fact, I believe before we just did like SBT run, right? We didn't do SBT, we didn't go into SBT and then did run. Okay, nice. All right, so now if we do run, it should be better, right? So let's see, curl localhost 9000. Okay, does it look better? Yeah, so we have like a different version of SBT now. So we need to wait a second. I think it looks better, right? So reload, yay, welcome to play. Okay, we're geniuses. Okay, so one of the things that we can do now is there's another tool called direnv, which stands for directory environment, right? So I have it installed. I actually have it installed with Nix, but that's not the point. So if I just create a file over here and I call it .envrc, right? Actually, I'm still in the shell, okay? .envrc. By the way, notice that like what I just did, I did v, and v is an alias for vim. And when you do like, you know, flakes, by default, they're so-called pure, which means that you only have stuff that is inside of that flake. You don't have anything else that is on your system, okay? There's also a way to use them in an impure fashion, which is what we're doing now. So if I create a file called .envrc, I can go over here and I can say use flake, and I can paste the same. Again, I'm not sure if relative paths is going to work or not, okay? So if I go like this, so the way it works is that it is hooked into my ZSH. So every time I change a directory, my ZSH tells direnv, like, hey, we changed the directory. What direnv does is that it looks for a file called .envrc. If it notices it, it runs the command inside, right? So this is what RC stands for, environment, you know, run commands, okay? And this is a security mechanism. It says, like, hey, like somebody changed it, like, was it you? Like, are we good? And we say, yeah, we're good. Direnv allow, right? So as you can see, it just said direnv loading, you know, we're loading this flake. We're loading the file, right? .envrc. Inside of this file, it says use flake, which is like over there. And so now we're inside. And so now it, now it loaded the shell, right? So basically, if I go out of the folder, I do Java version, it says 17.05. If I go inside of the, how did I call it? Play scala seed, all of a sudden I have, I mean, you already see it in my prompt, I have 11, right? So we're pretty much done with the, with all of the Nix stuff. The only thing that I'm going to do is, yeah, exactly. The only downside is that it doesn't work on Windows, but I am on Windows, right? So it works inside of WSL, right? So the only thing I want to do is I want to remove this, so shell hook sh. Why am I still inside? Hold on. Shell hook.sh. We're inside. Okay, so I'm just going to remove that. Okay. And so over here, if I do, I have an alias called dr, which stands for direnv reload, so I don't need to go out and back in. If I just do dr, see, before it was saying we're inside, now it doesn't say anything, right? So there is, it doesn't say anything. And power level 10K also shows us that we're inside of a direnv, and we're also inside of Nix, right? So if I go out one folder, right, and if I go back in, it says like, hey, we're using direnv, we're using Nix shell. Okay, cool. So at this point, I think we can pretty much start VS Code and see like what we're actually dealing with. By the way, guys, do you hear my air conditioner? Because I pressed like the super power play button, so it like goes crazy now. Multiple build definitions found. Really? Oh, interesting. SBT. Import build. That's cool. I didn't know that they supported mill. Show logs. Show logs. Come on. By the way, like if we look at the logs, like at the very top, see GraalVM 11, right? So we're on 11 now. And also, like I have Bloop running, right? So if I do B is an alias for Bloop, right? And by the way, like as you can see, we're inside of DRNV, and so it's not a pure shell anymore. So I still have access to all of the stuff that I normally have. So if I do B about, right, it says blah blah blah. It still runs on GraalVM 17, right? Because it was started before we did this thing. So we need to wait a little bit. I just don't want to confuse Bloop and stuff. Connected to build. Okay, so now if I do BR, which is my alias for Bloop exit and Bloop about, right, it's going to restart it. It's going to look like, hey, you actually have, I thought it would notice my 11. It didn't. Hold on. Why not? I thought it would have recognized that I have 11. It used to do that in the past. Anyway, so let's open some .scala file. Home controller. Yes, create scala fmt. Sure. All right. Oh. By the way, we should probably have a Git repo. All right. So are we good? Like, does it? Hold on. Why am I on? Yes. Still doesn't scroll. Okay. Compiling something. On. Turn on. Really, do I need to like scroll down like this? Okay, hold on. Cascade compile. Okay, so B compile. Did you just call it root? Okay. So Bloop cannot run like servers and stuff, okay? But, you know, at least I think it's all good so I can jump into things. Well, maybe not those things. No, no. Okay. So we're probably gonna need to read some docs because I don't remember how it works, but at some there is a file with routes somewhere. Maybe it's in conf routes. There you go. All right. So we are getting some. By the way, maybe there is an extension for play. Play framework, maybe. Oh yeah. Okay, it's just like snippets. Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's some ancient thing. Maybe there is nothing. Do you guys know if there's something for VS Code? Doesn't matter. All right, so pretty much this is what happens, right? So if we go to slash, it goes to, I'm actually kind of curious if metals can jump there. It can't. It can't. That's annoying. All right. So basically we're starting with a route. And this is like the first thing, right? Like how does it instantiate the home controller? So you go to home controller, okay, it has some singletons. So I guess this is from Juice, right? JavaX inject. Interesting. I've never done like any like fancy runtime dependency injection. So let's see, like this one is what, where? Still JavaX inject. Okay, so maybe we'll need to look into JavaX inject. But you know, there's docs about like how to actually like inject these things properly. Okay, so like one of the things that it gets injected is controller components. I'm very curious about what the hell that is. Most controllers rely on. Are we actually using it? So this is probably an override, right? So probably like base controller. Yeah, controller components that we have. Protective depths and abstract depth. Okay, so we have to override it. Right, so technically this is an override val. Okay, and inside of it, it finds the index, correct? And it goes action, blah, blah, blah. And this is like where I don't remember if it's synchronous or not. Hold on. There's like a sync. Yeah, anyway, I don't remember. The point is, request comes in. We're using some utility to return it to 100. We go views.html.index. Okay, so this is something interesting. So remember, like action sync for the other. Okay. So it's like that. Oh yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, so this is something where, you know, there's typical for a server-side templating framework, right? So it has a notion of some HTML mangling thing, right? So it has like views.html, and so there's a folder called views, and inside of it there is, well, I guess index. Is it index or is it main? Probably index, right? So it goes views.html.index, right? So it's this one, index, okay? And so this SBT plugin actually takes this and it transposes to Scala code. And there's actually a way I remember, instead of writing that, to actually write Scala code, like to write all of that stuff manually. And I really hope that we're not going to need to do this by hand. I don't even remember like how often. So over here, like you can inject parameters. This is from my memory into this template. And I don't think that, you know, this is already sort of given. Like, I'm not sure, but I think we can like go and like insert it here, right? Let's just try. Let's just try. No arguments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is cool that we're getting a compilation error. So let's see, blah, int. Okay. Maybe this is not the syntax. Maybe I cannot say, maybe I cannot mention the type. I really don't remember how to do this, man. Okay, so you're telling me that this is correct. Okay, so this is like some number. Welcome to play. Here is your number, and I get like I'm just guessing, but like how do you just go like this? Like is it like, or is it like mustache templating? Like what do they do? Let's just try this. Maybe it's like that. Okay, so maybe blue confused, but we should be completely fine in SBT. So let's see. Number. All right. So like that, like that. So I think we can just do run like this, right? Oh, is that it? So it already worked? Oh, okay, so we need to do a request and only then it starts compiling. Okay. Okay, here's your number, it's 5. Cool, so it worked. So I do remember it correctly. It is annoying as hell though that it looks like maybe this is like a metals thing. Like sometimes it helps to just like restart, and then maybe it will be okay. We'll see. Like back then there was no metals, so I don't remember how it worked and stuff. All right, so over here it says, okay, so over here this is probably a function call, right, at main. Oh, by the way, this is also why it's like this. Okay, so at main, right, and this is a call to this template. Yeah, this template is called from the index template. Exactly. Handles the rendering of the page header and body tags. It takes two arguments, a string for the title of the page and an HTML object to insert to the body of the page. Yeah, okay. Look, we could have stolen it over here. That's how you do it. Oh, and everything is curried. Is it curried on purpose? Or does it need to be curried? I don't remember. Okay, here. Like this is also curried. Okay, so I guess it's not necessary, but they did it on purpose. Okay. Okay, so I guess this was just like some metals thing. So it works now. All right. So okay, so one of the dependency injection things that I'm only a little bit concerned about is that like templates can depend on other templates. I wonder how this works, and like probably nobody's so crazy to like actually like replace templates with other templates in tests. Probably, like, you know, to have like fake templates, like fake objects. So then let's just hope that it's not an issue. All right. So now we kind of like, and by the way, this is something that like I remember when I was mentoring juniors back in the day. Like this is something that you always need to do whenever you're playing with a new whenever you're in a new code base, or whenever you're in a new like specifically web framework. Like the first thing that you need to understand is like how does the request response thing work? Like trace the request from like the beginning. Okay, it's here, then somehow magically it creates this, which is a class or an object. I forgot, it's a class. So it creates an instance of this class, which also means that we need to see if it creates an instance every time, right? So we just need to go print line scala console green plus new instance plus scala console reset, like this. And if we curl, so we see new instance, and if we curl again, okay, it does not create a new instance. This is good to know. It says no global state. I'm not like, this is something where I'm not sure if it does this just during dev time or not. Hopefully it always does this, but this is good. Okay, it creates the instance only one. And by the way, over here I think we can also do which one of you said this before, that you don't like that it only compiles when you do a request? You can always do, you know, compile and then run, right? I think this should force it to come, wouldn't it? So for example, let me remove this and let's see. Oh, I didn't do shit. Well, that's annoying. That's annoying. Which means if I press enter now, even though there is no request, it will actually what? Wait, let's not do tilde run. Let's just, oh yeah, so we don't need to do tilde run. We just need to do run, and then it gets stuck in there. Okay, that's why we don't need the tilde. Okay, so we cannot go out of here. Maybe there's a run something else. No, there isn't. I mean, there's runner, but okay. So this is, I guess, the only way. You just go run, and then it just hangs in there. Maybe there's another way. Maybe this is a conf. By the way, there was a file called application.conf. Great. There's also messages. What is this? Is this for localization or something? Yeah. Okay, so this is localization or internationalization, whatever. There's logback. Great. Missed XML in my life. Okay, so this is it. So now the question is, no, hold on. There needs to be somewhere a thing that creates like a main thing. Isn't there a main somewhere? Public images, JavaScript style sheets. So there's nothing like main. If there's nothing like main, this means that everything here is found by reflection. Okay. Okay. So in terms of Hello World, it's enough for me. I remember how it works. So let's finally Google like why we're here. Play dependency injection. Oh, okay. So I read this already like last week and stuff. So they say while they use blah blah, both runtime dependency injection based on blah and compile time dependency injection, which is also a link. Okay. Okay, every application that needs an entry point is loaded by reflection. What? Oh, yeah, okay. Even if it starts itself, the main class is still loaded by reflection, and its main method is located blah blah blah. In place, the JVM and HTTP server used by Play must be kept running between restarting. Play provides an application loader trait that you can implement. Okay, so this is how we do like our own main. The application loader is constructed and invoked every time the application is reloaded to load the application. Traits load method takes as an argument the application loader context, which contains all the components required by a Play application. It cannot be constructed by the application itself. Wait. Context. The purpose of providing functionality in dev mode. For example, the source map allows the Play's error handlers to render the source code. Ah, yeah, makes sense. Okay, it's the that Stack Overflow thing that we saw in the beginning. It was not a Stack Overflow, the stack trace. Simplest implementation of this can be provided by extending the Play built-in components from context abstract class. I believe this is the thing that we actually saw in the beginning, right? It was no. This is controller components. This is okay. Takes the content and provides all the built-in components based on the context. The only thing you need to provide is a router for Play to route requests. So below the simplest application that can be created in this way using a null router. Okay, and where do I put it? I guess it doesn't matter where I put it. Configure the loader property to point to the fully qualified class name. Okay. All right, so let's try this. So if I copy this and I go to application.conf and I just like here, my application loader. And now if I go, I guess just like an app, and I go like new Scala file, I guess it's a class. My application loader. All right, copy this whole thing. Like this. This is hold up. All right, so this means that this is already enough because we specified it in the application conf, it probably means that we don't need to remove our controller. It should just go straight to this one, go to the router, and the router will say, well, there's nothing in there, but at least it will work. Okay, so for curl, oh yeah, look, so it pretty much didn't hit any routes, so it totally worked. Action not found, exactly, cool. So now we just need to see, okay, configure logging, we can do this later. How to actually providing router, there we go. Okay, so by default play, you will use the injected routes generated. The generated route was a constructor, except it shows blah, 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 blah. The router's constructor will also, as its first argument, accept an HTTP error handler, which is used to handle parameter binding errors, and a prefix string is a letter and or below constructor. Defaults this will also be provided. The following routes, blah, 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 will produce a router with the following constructor signatures. Oh my God, this is so ugly. Note that the naming of the parameter is intentionally not well defined, and in fact, the index that is appended to them is random. Which index? Hold up. Yeah. The index that is appended to them is random. Which index? There's a prefix. All right, whatever. So you should not depend on the names of these parameters. To use this router in an actual application, wait, hold up. In our case, we have new my components. We give it the context as a dot application, which, oh my God. So it was in probably built-in context, right? No, it's in trade application. And application is in what? Oh my God. Hold on. That's why people love object orientation for this inheritance stuff. Security handle untrusted. Where? So if I go to, oh, okay, hold on, maybe, hold on. Maybe, so this whole thing is inside of, oh, so this is inside of built-in components. Okay. So, which is here and then here. Okay, makes sense. So, we just give it a router. So this part doesn't change. Okay, what is that thing? We don't have that yet, right? HTTP filters components, so we have it until here. And it does new bar. Bar is what? Okay, so probably they, where does this thing come from? Okay, hold up. So we don't need this, right? So these are the routes, but we need the router. Oh no, we do. Okay, router is new routes. And you give it, like, it says like assets. Like, where does it come from? Is it like in one of these traits? It only takes a few hours for a complete newbie to set up and encode first out properly. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, yeah, hello world is simple. But I want to know how to do proper dependency injection. I want to do it manually. I'm aware that it will require a little bit of extra code, but I need it. Like, I don't get it. Like, for example, oh, okay, hold on. So slash, so I don't get, like, do I need to write like all of that stuff or not? Hopefully they have like an example application. Like, this is where I'm like a little bit lost here. I hope that I don't need to do this crap, but I think I do. Generate a router. Yeah, I mean, so like if you do that, it will automatically generate that, right? But if we're going to do dependency injection, I think we cannot use that anymore. And therefore we need to write something like this ourselves, and then later do this, new routes, and then give it stuff. Let me just copy this. I guess it's time to, oh, my Vim died. Yeah, exactly. But I think because, well, if we're sticking with default DI, then we're done. Like the hello world example, like, is enough for me to understand how it works. But that's not what I want. I need to be able to inject things myself, so that I can create a proper multi-build out of this stuff. And if I can't, it will be a little bit more annoying, but it was still possible. So this is controllers dot application. I don't know, maybe. Maybe you're right. Let's try this. So let's assume that, our file called routes, that it generated all of this stuff, right? That it generated this router. So then I should be able to write some code over here that will access it, right? So one of the things that they do here is they create this controller, okay, like this part. Okay, so let's see if I can do that. My controller is called home controller. Okay, so home controller. Is it actually in controllers? Yeah, it's package controllers. Okay, so home controller. Controller components, like, it's not a member of package. Play API controllers. So there's the controllers inside of this thing. So I guess we need to do, like, at least for now, we can fix it later. So I guess I can do this. Right. Okay. So this worked. So which means like we injected like this controller. It probably also means that we don't need this stuff. We don't need like add singleton. We don't need add inject. Like this, right? Yeah, this is good. Okay. So now let me try to do that. Okay, so we don't have bar routes. I'm not sure about the assets. Do we have assets? Okay, not found type routes. Hold up. Import routes. Okay, assets. Like, where do the assets come from? I guess they come from here. That's why we're mixing it in. And I guess it's those. I guess it's that stuff. Right? So I guess we can just go. Okay. Hold on, do we have it? Where? Because we don't have it, do we? We do. Okay. It compiles. Okay. We're done. If we're done, and this was like way easy. Yeah, it works. Here's your number 5. We're done. We actually can combine both. This is great. I'm very happy that it works. So now I'm gonna go P, and then we're going to create an SBT multi-build, where this would become useful. I'm gonna be right back. I'm getting frame drops again. All right. So one last thing that I actually forgot, I wanted to see if we can remove this. Right, we should be able to remove that, and we should be able to, oops, to remove that, right? Because we don't need like any of this, what's it called? Injection stuff, yeah. Which means that like we can remove all of that, like this. Also make it final. All right. So I'm just gonna like clean this stuff up a little bit. Hold up, scala FMT. I think the latest one is 6. I don't know, something. 6.1. Scala FMT config. I want to have like 100 lines. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So this is better. Okay, so we have an index, which is an action, which I believe we can do an underscore here. Oh, we can't. All right, cool. Also, just like in case, you know, there's some, like, I haven't used it for like 10 years, so I don't know, maybe there are like incremental compilation bugs or whatever. So let's just go like Java time, local time dot now, and then get, well, actually we can just go to string, whatever, right? So okay, so this is good. Wow, okay, so this is a good error message. Found string, okay, so can I go in there? Okay, so I can only go into the generated stuff. And I guess I have to open it manually. Okay, so this is a string text, and we can pretty much just go like this. Okay, hold on, let's see if I can do this. Oh, it's really annoying that it doesn't clear the diagnostics. Maybe if I close the file, escape compile, and I open it again, recompile workspace. Oh, this is so annoying. Output. There we go. Man. All right. So maybe it's always better to, like, we need to test this later. Like, maybe it's better to change the template first. No, but that's still not gonna help. Anyway, so let's run it. And now we're going to see the current time. Good. So let's run it again. Yeah, all good. So so my application loader is now going to be called main, and which means that we need to go to the config over here, and we need to just say main. And yeah, so ideally, like, this would also be in our package and stuff. We'll fix this later. Still good. Okay. So we should probably commit this, and we need to see how the SBT plugin works, because what I want to do is I want to create a multi-build, and then only the part that actually uses play will have this plugin. Might not be possible. And if it's not possible, it's not a big deal. Okay, so... Oh, we also have scaffolds. That's cool. Hold up. That's interesting. Okay, so we have a thing that can create a controllers, and we have a thing that can create views, and we have a thing that can create tests. Oh, by the way, do we have tests? Oh, home controller, we do. Okay, so this test might not work anymore because we removed this, you know, juice stuff, this whole injecting stuff. Let's see. Yeah, okay, but it's fine. We can fix it some other time. Okay, so what do I want to do? So I wanted to see, oh yeah, this. We have, hold on, what did we do? Okay, this is just, okay. G8 scaffold. Pressing, nothing is happening. Hold on, scaffold. And the template is app controllers. Controller. Okay, form. How does it know that form? Cannot be formed, they changed it. Okay, so there's probably an alias somewhere. Model, okay, user. And this created what? Okay, so it created a user controller, it created a view, and it created a user controller spec. Nice. That's cool. All right. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to see, let's actually see it build.sbt. Okay, nothing. Okay, so enable plugins. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna have. So we're gonna have enable plugins only on the delivery portion and on the main. Library dependencies juice, I guess we don't need that. Where is it defined? Oh, wow. Oh. Okay, so the plugin brings a bunch of stuff. Oh, wow, okay. Add additional packages to twirl. I guess we're going to need this. Let's actually try this before we continue. So if we go to home controllers and we put it into dev inside you, and let's call it how do we call this app? We call it, it's play scala seed. So play scala seed. And so in our main, so we're just gonna go dev inside you, play scala seed. I removed controllers. Missing from the class. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is again something weird or not. So hold on, let's see. We need to go run again, and we need to do the curl. Controllers dot home controller is missing from the class. Okay, where does it say controllers dot controller? What says controllers dot home controller? Maybe this is exactly what we just looked at. Maybe this is, no, but this is for twirl. This is not for, oh, no. Oh yeah, it's in the routes. Over here. Right, so it's gonna be dev inside you. Play scala seed of this. Ten scala sources. What? Okay, so it's working again. So that thing was for something else. Why do we need this? Template imports. Anyway, we'll find out one day. Okay, so at this point, what I want to do is I want to abandon this project. I want to create a completely fresh new one with my, Scala template. And then convert it into that basically. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it over there. And I'm losing frames again. By the way, are you guys still here? Don't forget to hit the like button if, so that more people stumble on the stream. All right. So what we need to do is we need to press enter over here and do like this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go DIY G8. We're gonna create a scala seed. We're going to call it play diamonds, because diamond architecture and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, play diamonds. Any indicator repo, yes. No. Sure. By the way, if you don't know what just happened, like I wrote a script in my video about gum, which is the thing that displayed those cool thing. So this script allows me to choose one of my templates, one of my generate templates. It pulls it down, creates it, asks me a couple of questions like this. Right, so now we have a folder play scala seed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy from play scala seed .envrc. I'm just going to copy it into play diamonds. Right, and so if I go into play diamonds, I will say dear env allow, right, and then I'm back at Java 11, right? Easy as that. And by the way, this uses SBT 180, as you can see, not not the 172. All right. And by the way, I have the dot in VRC in my global git ignore, so it's all good. Okay. All right, so if we go over here, no, not now. So if we go to the build.sbt, we need to convert this to a multi-build. And for now, it's just going to have what's the simplest way? Just gonna have core, which is gonna be like 01 core. And the name is going to be core. We don't need that. We don't need that. So over here, we're going to say aggregates, and we're just going to have main, delivery, and core. And so this is going to be core. This is going to be main. And we're gonna have main. Dependencies don't really matter right now, so we can leave them at the top. And we're gonna have delivery. It's gonna be 2. And for now, this is enough. Like this is all I care about for now. Core, delivery, main. Delivery depends on core. Yeah, we might as well do this. For this, we need to import. I think I renamed it to my util. No. All right. So this thing is just defined inside of my util, right? So my util, and it's a weird like SBT thing that says compile, test, right? So basically that the tests also depend on the test. So in this particular case, if I have tests in delivery, they will see what is in the tests of core, not just what is compiled in delivery. We'll only see what is compiled in core, right? So main depends on delivery, right? So I go like this, like that, delivery. Okay, so for now, when I persistence or whatever, and that's it. Okay, so for now, no play. For now, let's go and for the build. So for now, I'm just gonna like start SBT. Once I'm gonna start SBT, once SBT loads, it will evaluate the build and it will create these empty folders for me. These ones: 1 core, 2 delivery, 3 main. SMA. No. Yeah. So as you can see, things are being generated. I thought that would be more probable. And it died. Yes. Just one thing like this. Is it like this? Probably it's like this. Maybe I should start SBT. No. I think it's aggregate. No, not aggregates. This aggregate thing is just so that if I say compile, it will just send this compilation to, it will send the others. Okay, so it's fine. As you can see, it created like these folders. All right, so I'm actually gonna go out and I'm gonna do it here. This way we can see both. It says that dirty. It is. Oh yeah. So now it's not dirty anymore. That's what I meant, like, you know, flakes, they expect things to be inside of Git. By the way, Fred, are you still here? So I want to move the source into main. Okay, so I have them say blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now it means that I can compile. I'm surprised that it needs to do that. Compile. All right, so let's run the test. Okay, let's do main run. Okay, so it is all good. Technically the tests need to be here. And the example suite can stay there. Okay. All right, the absolute minimum of what we need. So I'm gonna go to play diamonds. Okay, so yeah. So this is pretty much it. Okay, so now we need to bring in play. I'm gonna go here, and this is the first thing that we're gonna do, is we're going to bring in, so I don't need the templates for now, right? I just need this. Okay, so just like enter it here. So we're no. What else do I like really need? Okay, so I don't need that stuff yet. Yeah, so I need to do this enable plugins thing. Okay, so I need to go like this, and I will only enable it in so for sure I need it in delivery, right? So I need it here. All right, probably I also need it in main. And this is what I kind of want to do, right? I don't want the core to know that play exists. The same way I don't want to know about, you know, the persistence layer and stuff. Know that play exists. Okay. So what else do we need? Like that stuff. I don't know if templates still use it. We'll see later. But like basically, I think like this is the only thing that we need, and we're like done already. Let's see. So this means that we're already able to say, just like to say run inside of, well, probably delivery as well. Well, yeah, let's do like delivery run. I should at least say like, hey, this is an actual command and stuff. Okay. So, okay. So it says like stuff about Scala XML and blah, blah, blah. So this is the reason why SBT 180 just came out. So we need to go down. We need to go down to 7.2. No. So XML is a, you know, big long story. All right. That's why I also didn't want to change it there, because I knew that it would be something like this. All right, so I should be able to do delivery run. It's not, yeah, okay, so as you can see, like, it already works. But I should also be able to do main run. In fact, in the end, like, maybe we're not even going to need the delivery inside. Maybe we're not going to need the plugin inside of delivery. We're still going to need like dependency on play, and I think that this is one of the things that the plugin does. So it's probably going to be like much easier to just like have it there. But still, okay, like the point is that I cannot do this, you know, I cannot do like core run. I mean, it's like a regular run. Okay, so now it means that I should be able to go into my main over here. Blah, 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 blah. So over here, first of all, I'm gonna create a source main new Scala file, resources application.conf. I should have said new file instead of new Scala file. New file, resources application.conf. Okay, and copy it from here. This thing. Okay, so we should give it the absolute path. Okay, so we need to give it like dev inside you play diamonds main. So dev inside you play diamonds main. Dev inside play diamonds main. Okay, so our main is now, I think I can just like copy that and go here, paste it here, and it should at least compile except for that portion. Okay, so it will become it will just be this. Okay, but for now it's not going to compile. Let's actually start with lazy val router equals routes. Was it like this? Routes empty? How was it in the beginning? Router empty. Okay, so router empty. Oh yeah, we don't have metals and stuff, so we don't even know like what is working and whatnot. So I should wait for it real quick. All right. So I just want to see if it compiles. Probably doesn't, because like I overlooked something like this: root controllers asset components. Okay, I am surprised that it worked. Hold on. Yeah, exactly. Source main scala, damage side, main scala. It doesn't seem like it sees it. Why does it not see it? Is this file in the wrong place? It is in the wrong place. No, it's not. Source, main, scala, inside. It's correct. So why, like, no matter what I do, it doesn't do anything. It has to be something silly. Source main scala. Diamond side, you play diamond's main. Do you guys see it? It sees core. And that's it. It doesn't see main. Why not? Has to be a typo somewhere or something. 0 1 core, 0 2 delivery, 0 3 main. Oh look, the name here is the same. I don't think that this causes it, but still. Core delivery main. Maybe it does. Need to wait for this to finish. All right, let's see. Why doesn't it see this? Core delivery main. Main dependent delivery. I have a feeling that I'm gonna lose electricity. I have a thing called, I think it's called UPS or USB. This uninterruptible something power source thingy battery. And whenever we use electricity, it starts making a different kind of noise. And so it just made this noise twice. So maybe there was like instability and stuff. So if I lose electricity, I probably will not stream today again. But I will finish this, and I'll make a video about this anyway. How to do proper like dependency injection and play. It's just gonna be this like this hello world thing. So this is just in case the electricity goes up. Okay. So we're trying to figure out why it doesn't compile anything inside of main. Let's put a file here just in case. New file, source main scala dev inside you, dev inside you. This is gonna be our home controller anyway, right? Hold on, it needs to be in play diamonds home controller. Let's go. Okay, so package, dev inside you, package, play diamonds, class, home controller, final class. Okay, so this means that if we do CA, hold on, let's do compile instead of CA. Maybe it's my alias, no. What the hell is going on? Like if I do clean, I do compile. Is it because I inserted these? Oh, I think it's because I inserted those plugins, right? If I remove that, because remember, it wasn't compile anything until we made a request. Yeah, see, so now it compiled delivery. Oh, this is so annoying. No. Like this is garbage. Play force compilation. Oh God. Against other Java version. No, that's not what I want. It says that I can do compile. I don't get it. Like, why is the... Okay, hold on, maybe it was too fast because SBT caches stuff. Okay, we actually also don't have anything here. Okay, so new source, main scala, dev, inside you, play diamonds. We're gonna go like use case 1, boundary.scala. Trade boundary. By the way, this thing here needs to be also in use case 1. home controller. All right. Okay, so it sees that one. All right. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so we need to do like main run. And we need to start bombarding it with requests. So let's do this. Curl localhost. Nice. Okay, so something is happening. Okay, so first of all, configuration error. Okay, so it did not find application.conf. Application.conf. Hold on. Okay, so it decided that it needs to be in a folder called conf. Okay. Conf. And this will be here. Not conf. All right, let's trigger another curl. Oh no, do I need to scroll down? It still says resource not found. There's also app. Okay. Okay. Let me scroll down first. Let me go like this. Wait, it doesn't do anything. Why does it not do anything? Okay. Okay, why does it do that? It's appconf application.conf. Spell application is. Okay. So hold on. App conf application.conf. Maybe we should re-enable that stuff. Maybe this message is actually like saying like, okay, like I found the application conf, but it doesn't find application.conf. It's weird. And it doesn't, and it completely ignores my request again. Ah. Resource not found on class path. That's the thing, like it doesn't do anything else, right? Okay, look, it's not inside of conf. So I'm sorry, conf is not inside of app. It's just conf application.conf. Okay, so let's move it up again. Okay. So maybe it's gonna be better. That's not fun. Perfect. Okay. So now it says dev inside you play diamonds main. It doesn't find it. Dev inside you play diamonds. Well, it's there. All right, let's see if we can force this compilation by removing the plugin over here. Oh, no. Okay, so at least the file is in the correct location. But now that the plugin is not there, it doesn't see stuff, which is annoying. And now it's just gonna be like, man, I'm not gonna compile anything. Because it's just gonna do like this. And now if we're gonna send a request, now it's gonna start compiling something, but it doesn't. Dev inside you, play diamonds. Me. Maybe we need like a root thing. Maybe we need that. That would be silly, but hey, what else is new? Quest not found. Hold on. Let's also remove this one real quick. Nope. Okay, so for now we can try this. Because that worked before. Come on, what do you mean? And the only other idea I have is to remove that one for now. No idea. I'm gonna go P. Are you guys still here? Like this, like I can never rely on this thing. But I guess you guys are still here. Don't forget to hit the like button. I'm gonna be right back. All right. Okay. While I was gone, the only other idea I had was this, to actually go into the project first and then do run, and maybe this somehow will... Nope, didn't help. I don't get it. Like, this is a copy paste from here, right? Oh, it's inside of app. Look at this. Duh. By the way, learn from this, guys. Like, anytime you get stuck, just like go away from the screen for a couple of minutes. You'll get another idea. Okay, so it needs to be inside of app. And by the way, also what we're doing now is a great way to like actually understand the framework. Right, so you're like forced to, you know, like this is sort of like the idea of a framework. You know, they always like force a directory structure upon you. Maybe now I will even be able to say compile, and yes, okay, now we're freaking getting somewhere. Oh, I should not have done that. All right, so clean. Main compile, like that even. understands that it needs to compile the core, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. Okay, so now it's found object router. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. By the way, at this point, I'm not, hold on. Do we have it here? Yeah, okay. So we can leave this one like this for now, just real quick. Okay, so probably for this, we actually need the file that is called router, right? No, it's called routes. Do you think we need that file so that this other thing compiles? Hold on. Source conf slash routes. So I guess we do need this file. So let me just grab routes. I'm just gonna copy routes, and it's inside of conf. Interesting. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we do need it. Okay, so now this is play diamonds. Play diamonds. Okay, so now we need to go do that. Well, no, probably not. Hold on. Let's do that first. Let's go to home controller and grab it from here. No. Okay, not found value views, correct. So now we go here, we need that one. Type home controller is not a member of package. Okay, I think I moved it, right? Hold on. Okay, I did move it, but I did not move the package, right? Package use case 1. Okay. Type home controller is not a member of package dev inside of. Okay, so it should not be like in source main scala, blah blah blah. It should be inside of controllers, right? So I'm going to say that controllers, and we're just gonna move the whole dev inside view in there. Remove the source. Let's see. Is controllers? Yes. Oh, it's app/controllers. Damn it. New folder, app. Very invasive. All right, cool. So there's progress. So now we also need the templates, which is the views over here. So I guess I can just copy views, and it's inside of that. Why just happened? I feel like I cannot copy folders like this. Copy views into app. Oh, they are there. I just need to do that. There you go. Okay. So it would just VS Code line too. All right. So, okay, I'm getting somewhere. I found value routes, and it does this when it does main. Okay, so routes needs to be there, which is correct anyway. So we're gonna go new folder, conf, and we're gonna move the routes up there. Okay. Okay, so it looks like that's it, which is okay. All right, so this means that if I go main run, I should finally see, oh no, I'm not gonna see, but at least it's gonna like, everything is gonna be fine. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now I can go to main, and I can actually do something like that. So let's see if this compiles first. Compile. Well, actually, I can do this. I meant this. Okay, so those are mine. So, okay, so for now I'm gonna do like this again because I know that it's gonna fix it, but I go to inside of routes, right? Here. Like, can I go dev inside you? Can I just do that? Like, is it gonna like figure it out? Okay, so how was it before? It was controllers dot assets. So I'm gonna touch this one for now. So let's just leave it like this for now. Okay. So now I should be able to go like use case one, the home controller, right? Oh, not user case, use case. Nice. Okay. So it works again. Whew, finally. Okay, so now the actual fun begins. First of all, probably don't need, do I need this? Probably not. Actually, let's import the build. Let's also do CA. Let's wait for SBT to finish. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm sorry, my second screen is so far away. Your name is Gerardo? Hold up. I should be able to see it here. Gerardo, yeah. Yeah, so in the beginning of this stream, I announced that I am about to inherit a Play project. So I need to figure out how to do dependency injection in Play. Okay, so we don't need this. Probably we do need this though, right? Okay, so this is where OK comes from. And this is where, all right, so all I need is MVC. Nice. Well, I want to keep this one because I don't remember how Play works. Okay. So this also means that we're still let's do that. Amend main. Okay, we're still good. Cool. All right. So just so we're doing everything by the book, right? So this is going to be business logic, which is going to give us, I don't know, a string. Oh, no, this is abstract, right? Like this. Okay, and over here we're going to go object boundary, and over here we're going to go like def make boundary equals new boundary, or lazy val business, come on, not completion, business logic string equals java time local time dot now dot to string. Why am I not getting like what is my metals doing? How about you tell me that everything is good or not? It says compiled core. No, it fucking didn't. Ah, annoying. Exactly. So, dear metals, by the way, guys, if you have like questions like or anything, also if you do know the Play framework and you see me if I do something stupid, like let me know. Why you don't use IntelliJ? I'm one of those people that they're gonna end up using Vim. That's why. So I'm like going the other way. Every time I used it, it was too heavy for me. I want to be able to like really fastly operate on text. I don't need the whole big thing. I made a video called "Do All Roads Lead to Vim?" and in there I tell about my whole IDE story. And in there I say that I did C# at some point, and there was a plugin for Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, called ReSharper, and it was by JetBrains. It was amazing. And then I found out that they have a plugin for Eclipse called IntelliJ, and I was very surprised to find out that it was not a plugin; that it was its own IDE. And back then I was a student, and there was no student edition, so I didn't use it. And then when the student version came out, I was using Sublime Text at the time, and Sublime Text like gives you this like fast text editing experience. And you know, I launched IntelliJ, and it took forever and stuff. So, however, if you do like IntelliJ, IntelliJ is really great. It's one of the best IDEs out there. Everything that JetBrains does is like this. Hey bro, do you do any machine learning work? I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't do machine learning. I don't do data. What's it called? Like data stuff, you know, Spark and all of that stuff. I don't do any of that. Maybe one day I will, but not interested for now. Okay, what's up with metals? Like what is happening? Hold up. No, actually, this is semantic DB. What? Hold up. Hold up. Connect to metals. Restart server. There we go. Good morning. String. String. Yeah, toString. I left it on purpose because I wanted to see the compilation underline, you know, the compilation error. All right. So we have this boundary. And now in my controller, I can finally say, which is something that I wanted to do from the very beginning, is that over here, ooh. No, that's fine. Okay. So maybe I can even put it in a second. It doesn't matter. Okay, so over here, I'm going to say, well, I need a boundary. Correct. And now over here, I'm going to say boundary.businessLogic. Okay, and then main, which is over here. We are going to have, well, I guess it needs to be an app. Okay, so we're going to have a new Scala file, just a new file. Now I can do it here. So we're just gonna go like new boundary. No. Boundary.make. This is correct. Use case one.boundary.make. Nice. So if we go main run, it's still over there. Ta-da, it works. Great. Come on. Nice. Okay, so now I can finally like rip this thing out. So this is probably a var args. Oh, it's not a var args, it's generate. Nice. Interesting. Okay, so over here we need to go new file. And we go source, no, we go dev inside you, play diamonds, use case one, di.scala. Correct. Okay, so this is going to be object di. And over here, we're going to have that thing, controller. And so it's like this, and it's like that. And this is also correct. So this is going to be a def, and we can go back to okay, so I guess it's just this. I mean, this is probably something that we will end up injecting implicitly, but for now it's fine like this. Okay. All right, so now over here, we're just gonna say use case one di dot controller, and we need to give it controller components. Okay. Main run. Ta-da! Cool. Okay. So now we just need to work on ergonomics. First of all, this is just controller. Come on, yes it did. Come on, every time. Extends a base controller. Well, that's fine, whatever. Okay, so we need to reload because, by the way, this is one of the cool features in VS Code. And they recently did it somehow. Like when you reload, it actually somehow maintains the terminal. So see it like it's like I reloaded VS Code, but it like attached to the same shell, which is cool. So our curl still no, it doesn't. Okay, so this changed the routes. Maybe this is also why maybe this is also why Metals complained. Still complaining. It's weird. Because we fixed, no we didn't. Compilation error, okay, so something somewhere still says home control. Of course it is. Maybe it doesn't like this name. Maybe it creates some sort of collision with the name. That's fine here. Okay. Yeah. As I expected, incremental compilation is also, as always, pain in the ass. So now there's a question, why did you want to do this manual DI in the first place? Do you use manual DI in a real project at work? How small they are? Well, this is the thing, like, I never, started my own company, right? So I could never do this properly in a huge project. But I have done this here live when we have written a functional programming application, and we did all of this by hand. And I actually would totally do this in production if I had the choice, if I had the control. So check this out. So have inside you how was it called? Shopping cart something. Shopping. Yeah. Look. So if you go to diamonds here, and if you go into main, here, see, it's all constructed manually. I have an entire playlist called Diamond Architecture. You can watch it to basically have the answer to your question. It's basically to ensure that the dependencies inside of your build are pointing into the right direction. So like this way I can do this on the, at the build level, I can ensure that you don't accidentally put things into the wrong place. Okay, so this is an annoyance that like we have to do like extends base controller, and therefore we need to be able to do like an override valve over here. Well, whatever, it's fine. So it's sort of a convention to do this instead. Oh, I need a class. That's annoying. I need a class because the route. No, I don't need a class. Yeah, it's actually better. Like just even because of the fact that you can just like jump into things normally. I'm actually super curious. So it's a convention to do something like this, right? So if we go here, go like this, and go like that. Well, actually, I could have just inked that whole thing and did like this. Well, almost very close to what I wanted to do. This would create a controller by doing new controller components boundary. Okay, so if we go to DI, so instead of this, we're gonna go controller.make, and then this. So this obviously is still going to work, right? Because we didn't like do anything crazy. Yeah. So, but what if I go here and we need to grip for that? What if I go here and I just go new base controller, and now I'm gonna have this. Yeah, well, that's annoying, obviously. But we'll fix it later. I just want to see if it's gonna work, because technically now it doesn't do anything via reflection. Yeah, also we're gonna need to do this now, right? Oh, okay, so most likely like do this in the end. Let me see real quick. What's the type of this? I know it's very confusing what I'm doing right now. Also, my cat wants to come inside. I think I'm gonna let her in real quick. Hold up. More space here. So then if I go like this, and if I go like this, I'm just playing around, right? So, I'm really curious if it's gonna be able to do this because now I'm not, it works. Oh my God, it works. Okay, cool. It works, but it's way more code and it's unnecessary. So this is exactly why glip, right? So that we can just revert this to that. So question number one, can we, I think we can't. Can we go like this? I think we cannot. Cannot do an override in there. We can? Since when? Nice. Okay. So this means can go like this, go like this. What do you mean not found value controller? Oh yeah, we need to say new controller now. New controller. I cannot believe that this works. I really cannot believe that this works. All right. It works. Okay, so ergonomics got like way better. Okay, so This means that I can call this one like I'm used to calling the program. It's going to be a final class. I guess this is an override, by the way, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's see if metals can help me out over here. Yeah, nice. Do I really need all of that? Alright. So like this root is the only thing that still pisses me off, but I guess we can change it later at some point. All right. So actually, no, it would have been better to have it like this, right? Oh, we also need the application. Ah, damn it. We should not need any of that, right? Okay. And this is an override for sure. And again, new program. Whatever, it's fine like this. Creating a program which has like all of the routes. Here they are. Here's the first route. It's a controller. Go like this. Okay, so I also don't want to have this crap. So we're in Scala 2. Annoying. So we're gonna go over here and we're going to create a package object. And we're gonna create a type called controller components. And with this one, we can remove that. Oh, it's actually even there, so we can actually move it up. Right here. But over there, it's actually not necessary because we're importing MVC anyway for like that stuff. But anyhow, at least now, like every time we're creating a dependency injection, we just go like this and it's done. Okay, it would be good to figure out like the tests, but we're not gonna do this today. That compiled way too fast. Oh, did I compile before? Oh yeah, it's because, hold on, we need to like kill it properly, hold on. because SBT caches a bunch of stuff. Come on. Okay, update doesn't come. All right, so we can also time that. Actually, we don't need to time this because I have, okay. Because I have the prompt. Oh, connection refused. Okay, hold on. I need to do main run. Oh, so if I do main run, it will compile the core. Yes, it compiles the core. And it compiles the delivery. So compile the controller. Oh, I guess it compiled the routes. So what does it still compile when we're here? It only compiles the main. Interesting. Anyway. All right, so I have my questions answered, at least for the main dependency injection. Let's look through the flow again. So main, new program, giving it the context, like propagates it, whatever. Yeah, like this is still right. Like this thing, because I don't understand. Wait, so it's not mine. Hold on. Number of package play API controllers. It's just control. Okay, so this is something that really pisses me off, and I have argued about this for many years. Like, if you are a library author or a framework, it's your job to figure out name conflicts of your users, right? Because like if I do this, okay, well, there's actually only two things. Like I've never written like this app, so like play app, so I don't know how much, like, because like I could do, okay, application loader, right? And built-in components, not int, built-in component, like this, right? So if I go like this, then I should not need to go like that, right? But see, like wild arg import ruins this, right? So I'm doing like organize imports and then my code doesn't compile, which is a can I just alias as type? Yeah, of course I can, but I use it only once in the entire application. Like this is the only place, so there's no need to alias. There are many ways to solve this. It's just that like it's annoying, right? They called a top level component controllers, right? They did this, right? But this means that if I sort imports and accidentally like this C ends up below this one, then it doesn't compile anymore. And like this is I don't know, it's trivial to see, right? But yeah, luckily C is before P, so okay, whatever. Right, like another thing over here, right? So they call this val router, right? So if I don't import this, right, and if I go explicitly, you know, router.routes, it's gonna tell me like, what are you talking about? Like I can't do that. Okay, well, hold on. Router.routes, right? It's gonna be like, I can't, you know. So yeah. Anyway, not a huge deal. And also, like usually, like if something is implicit, it's always better to insert a type annotation. Okay, so there we go. So again, let's inspect everything. So we're starting here, go new program, blah, blah, blah. This list is gonna, so it's just gonna be like, whoa. So it's just gonna be like this, which is good. This is exactly what I want. And we can also call it route, right? What does it want? Well, it wants control, yeah. Whatever, control. First time I see such bizarre package, yeah. Yeah, like why is it not called, like why is not everything play dot? You know, at least can we have that? Like, why is this not there? Also the router, like why is it not in like, actually, is it play API router? No, it's not. It's just like a global router, right? Okay, no, hold on, but this is, yeah, so this is a generated code. So they generated this for us, but still, it's just like under package router. Anyway, like maybe this is something that we can control, right? So maybe there's like, maybe over here I can go like, I don't know, package something. Like maybe like if I read actually what is written there, maybe I could actually do this, but whatever. Anyway, like this is something that you write once, right? Because after this, we're only going to do this, right? Like all of these, right? And they are, you know, use case 1, use case 2, and so on. And they're all going to be like this. No imports, no nothing. New controller, again, like a little bit weird. We can't change that because it's an override. And that's it, right? So, and starting from here, we're in normal Scala code. Like one other thing that I want to see. I've been streaming for 3 hours. I should actually stop. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so I'm just gonna try like one more thing. But if it, then we're gonna abandon it, right? So it's all good. So I want to see, like over here, we can do like action dot async, right? And we just need to return a future. Oh, yes, it's probably going to be this one. Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, so I just want to see, like, the last thing that I want to see is that how we can get rid of futures inside of the core. So basically I want to go like this, and for now, what is it, like successful, I guess? Okay. Okay, so this works. Hey man, I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, I hope you guys learned from them. It was painful too. Okay, so because this works, I'm very confident that what I want to try now is going to work as well. So what I want to do now is I want to go to my build and I want to use Zio in the core. Okay, so over here, we're gonna go to Scala Dex and we're gonna search for Zio. Zio from Zio. Zio 204. Yes. Okay. Okay, can we like sit? Okay, whatever. Zio.dev. Zio. It was 2.04, right? Okay, import build. Oh, hey. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Like, don't worry, Fred. So, it's just that, like, we need to see if this is actually so important, you know? In the long term, for sure, but like in the beginning, maybe something else. All right, so now that we have Zio, we can go over here and we can say that this thing, okay, we need to import the build, right? I forgot about importing the build. Okay, blah, 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 okay. So now we need to like import Zio. And so now this is going to be a UIO string, which means that there are no errors, no nothing. Okay, where are my compilation errors again? Metals, what's wrong with you again? Come on, show me a compilation error. Actually, I'm super surprised that metals even works in play. That it somehow like that I can go from. I think I managed to jump from routes, right? I managed to jump into this controller, right? Oh, can't now, right? But could before, right? Or not? No, maybe I couldn't. Maybe I forgot. Okay, so now it's my Vim that is dying. Like, come on, really? Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on. Something is very wrong. Yeah, so see, it's still around build VS Code. So this is the issue. Life. That one, kill it, please. It doesn't kill it. Okay. Kill. Java. That one. No. Die also. Come on, are you serious? I don't. Oh, it's this one. That's totally fair. Yeah, okay, we're good. Actually, it would have been better to also go like this. All right. So the goal right now is to see compilation error over here. Still says no build target. Anyway, so I guess we're gonna do it by hand. So what is the success? I'll just go and rely on the good old SBT. I never liked, like, I tried it a couple of times to use SBT as a build server, but I wasn't happy with how it turned out in the end. Wait, oh, that's why nothing worked. I fucked up the build. Not zero dev, it's probably dev.zero, right? That's why none of this stuff worked. It's probably dev.zero, right? And this is also a sign that I'm getting tired. Did it mean zero succeed? Correct, that's exactly what I meant. Succeed. All right. So now over here, we're going to do boundary dot business logic map to whatever time. Like this. Exactly. So found 0 any nothing result, required future. Exactly. So now we can do okay, hold on, we need to do like import 0, and there's runtime, I guess. Yes, runtime default something future. No, run where's the one that runs against future? Is it a future? Maybe it's unsafe. Run to future. There we go. Run to future. And we're just gonna give it like needs 0 unsafe. Hold on. Needs trace and it needs unsafe. Hold on. Can we even do what I'm doing right here, right now? Probably not. Hold up. 0 run to future. That's recent. It's like a month ago. Okay, so this is what we need to do somehow. Okay. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more convenient, but fine. All right. Exactly. Well, meh is fine as long as it works. And it does. We're geniuses. Yay! Okay. There's probably a better way to run this. Oh, by the way, we should have a type. I like types. Oh, that's true. It doesn't override anything. Okay. There has to be an easier way to do this. So he's doing like unsafe run. Okay, that's still fast. Okay. Anyway. So this is it. So now we can use ZIO with play with dependency injection. And I don't know when, but I also need to figure out the tests, because like in that template thing that we received from, that we got from Jitterate, in the task they still use juice. I don't even know if it's a good idea to intervene with that. Maybe it's even better to like let it be there, you know, and then leave those like injection thingies here just for the test, even though we don't need them in production. Yeah. By the way, I don't think that we need to type here in. Yeah, we don't. Just to be sure. We might need the type if we remove this though. Oh, no, we're good. And do we need that? No, we don't. Okay, well, we probably cannot do a lazy val, right? Because remember, we checked this in the beginning, right? It doesn't instantiate the controller, right? So it should give me exactly the same time. No, it doesn't. Interesting. Good to know. This would look so much nicer in Scala 3 without like these like 5 lines. Cool. This is done. So I'm not gonna push this anywhere. But I will make a video about it once I know how to do the tests. I might stream again on Saturday, and then we can see what we can do about the tests. Again, like technically, like probably we will leave juice in the test because when we want actual application, we don't need like any of that stuff, right? So it's fine if we go from here. Yeah, for you, yes, not for everybody. I'll make a video about this anyway, and there will be a Git repo. Yeah, this is, I mean, technically we're playing, right? Yeah, so as I was saying, like starting from the boundary, we can do like normal testing. And most of the time it's enough. And so we will only need juice when we do that stuff. But this also shouldn't be necessary because like it looks relatively trivial to instantiate it as long as we have like this thing. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna wrap this up unless you guys have questions. We can hang out a little bit. Actually, let me check my phone. Which part is interesting? Like play in general, or this whole dependency injection stuff? Let me actually see if we can rate somebody. I haven't been able to rate anybody ever. I still don't see big value in the manual DI. I guess I'll start soon. Hold a word about this after I watch your diamonds here. Yeah, so in that series, I argued that compilation speed is the main value. But then at the end, I ran benchmarks and I realized that if you do everything properly, you don't need to split everything into a multi-build because SBT will just figure it out for you, right? However, I made the argument that the guinea pig that we used was an educational project, so it was already like clean and perfect from the beginning, right? But in production, applications look actually very differently. Like we have this like right now at work. We have like core, and core depends on the database, and there's still people who are arguing that it's fine like this, but I argue that it's not fine like this. And so if you set up a build in such a way that it's just like that the arrow just goes into the other direction, you won't have this issue, right? And so therefore I need a multi-build, and if I need a multi-build, I need to be able to do manual dependency injection. A previous message was lost. I was linking a Plaisir project which seems to be using 0 layers for the eye. That's what I said to me. Okay. No, it's not lost. It's just that YouTube automatically removes all the links, right? So if your message includes a link, it just gets automatically dropped. I can send links, but you guys can't, unfortunately. Yeah. Z layers I usually are not super necessary. I miss streaming. I'm gonna stream more soon ish. Like starting from like probably February, I'm gonna have like a fixed schedule. Then I'm gonna stream like once a week. No promises though. Yeah. And for sure I'm gonna make a bunch of videos about Nix. Nix is so powerful. Yeah. Anyways, don't forget to hit the like button so that YouTube recommends this video to other people. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna go. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, and see you next time. Yeah, you're welcome. Peace.